So when you look at WWE today, you have your top stars like your Roman Reigns, your Seth Rollins, your Drew McIntyre, Bianca Belair, etc. But my question is, who is going to be the next generation's top woman superstar, top male superstar as well? So today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 current main roster WWE superstars that I think could end up having the most potential going forward and can end up being mega stars down the line. Now, just to preface, you will not be seeing NXT talent because I'll be talking about main roster specifically, so no Roxanne Perez, which a lot of people are high on. I think she's a jobber, and she will be, but anyways, it's not to the point. Trick Williams, Ethan Page, your Jada Parkers, all of that stuff, that is not going to be on this list. It's going to be strictly main roster, so let's get into the list. Coming in at number 5 on this list is going to be Tiffany Stratton, and you're probably thinking, why is Tiffany Stratton not higher? Tiffy time! It's Tiffy time! Guess what? It's time for her to not be higher than number 5 on this list, although she is very talented. When she first came on the main roster, it's pretty clear to see that her athleticism and in-ring prowess is very, very high, especially when you compare it to jobbers and mid-carders who were even in the title picture, like a Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, etc. She's better than those people, and on top of that, she has the charisma and she has the presentation to deliver on that. She has the presentation of someone who is obviously going to be an upper card women's wrestler, and they're already giving her the money in the bank. When they give someone the money in the bank, they're destined for great things, and WWE is going to push them to the top of the company at some point now or later. Then you also have the fact that with Tiffany Stratton, she has proven that she is a great in-ring wrestler. That is very important because sometimes you can get by with just your charisma and your promos, but if you can wrestle and you also have charisma, I don't really like her promos at all, but she does have charisma and presentation, you combine those two things, you have a superstar. I could see her actually being the next generation's kind of Charlotte, putting on these amazing matches, these amazing programs with these over-the-top entrances, like her entrance at Mania next year is probably going to be crazy, all that stuff. Plus, they're already putting her with Nia Jax in a kind of friendship where she's going to turn on her probably and cash in and win the WWE Women's title probably within the next year. So it's safe to say that Tiffany Stratton, who's already super over with the crowd with the Tiffy time thing, everyone's doing it pretty much. I mean, I'm not obviously right because I'm not a jobber. However, everyone loves the Tiffy time gimmick and she's already super over with the crowd. They're building her up to eventually take that WWE title apparently. So it's pretty safe to say that if she's already over now like this and she's below the age of 30, she has a boundless amount of potential for what could possibly happen in her career. She's got a bright future ahead of her. She's probably going to end up being a mega star in the women's division. And at number 4 is actually going to be kind of a surprise probably, but I'm going to go with Austin Theory. I personally think that his charisma, the way he carries himself, his persona, actually lends itself to some pretty good comedic value. I mean, the way he sells moves is absolutely insane. The way he sells stunners is crazy. The RKOs, all of that. He has a unique moveset in the ring. He's got physical moves and also athletic stuff as well. I also think that Austin Theory would do a good job when it comes to being a longevity character. He kind of reminds me of a mixture of Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison, Miz, and R-Truth just kind of combined into one. He's got comedy, he's got great wrestling skills, he knows how to sell and put over moves, and on top of that, his entrance can be improved and you can make him presented in such way. He has the build to look like a top star as well. Austin Theory could work some wonders, man. I know this sounds crazy, but just trust me. Under the right booking and the right story, I don't think Vince McMahon did a great job with Austin Theory. They overpushed him, but now they're toning it back, and if they do it, they build up to Austin Theory like they are with him becoming face, which he should have already done because Triple H is an idiot and wastes 15 months on stories. However, they took their time, and that was kind of that. However, they took their time, but I think Austin Theory, eventually, when his time does come, when they turn him face, I think he'll be a very charismatic face that everyone will want to root for, and he seems like a pretty fun and jovial guy if you see him in interviews. I think Austin Theory's eventual character work and persona will lend to him being a very good longevity player for WWE and a very good face for the company. Probably in that mid-card, he might win an IC title or a US title, but he's capable of doing that in my opinion. And coming in at number 3 is Melo Hayes, man. This dude, I think, has the full package in my personal opinion. He's not as big as your Roman Reigns or your Brock Lesnar or anything like that, but he has charisma. He knows how to do backstage segments. We've seen it with Andrade, the stuff recently where he's put the fries in the bag, bro. You're washed. This dude is hilarious. He's charismatic. I think he has an amazing entrance theme. I hope they add pyro to it to make it even more grand. He's got the entrance. He's got the sniveling heel persona, and he's kind of cool with it. It's not a forced cool, but it's just kind of natural to who he is and how he carries himself. I think that's great. The in-ring work work speaks for itself. Him and Andrade are consistently putting on match of the week in WWE on SmackDown. I mean, you can include Raw and SmackDown. They're still having match of the week as well. And on top of that, Andrade and Carmelo Hayes are proving that Melo has a range in the ring. He has unique moves. He can do physical moves. He's a great seller. He's great at doing near fall kickouts. And on top of that, with Carmelo Hayes, you also have the fact that he can execute backstage segments at a very high rate. He had great backstage segments with LA Knight, and he had great backstage segments with Andrade. Someone who's proving to you that he can succeed at different levels of where you need him to be on that show on the particular night. He's versatile, and even with his persona, it works as a face as well. He can be someone you cheer for, and he can be someone you boo. When you have that range, and you can wrestle, and you got charisma, and you're still very young like Carmelo Hayes, I think he's 30 or like 29, this dude's future is very bright ahead of him, and he can end up being more than just a star. He could end up being a top superstar for the WWE one day, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. His ceiling is extremely high. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Rhea Ripley. Now, you're probably thinking, why is Rhea Ripley not higher? She should be number 1, number 1, number 1. Guess what? Not happening. I will acknowledge, even though I don't like Rhea Ripley that much, Rhea Ripley is absolutely talented, and she is already becoming a superstar right now if she isn't already, and she's going to eventually probably become a megastar. I don't even think she's 30 years old yet, and she's still probably right now the biggest draw and the biggest deal in the women's division. She's the biggest star at the moment. She puts on good matches when she wrestles, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had the classic last year with Charlotte at WrestleMania 39, and since then, she hasn't really put on any good matches, actually, now that I think about it, so she's overrated, but that's another video for another day. Rhea Ripley does a very good job of drawing in the audience with her characters. A lot of people love the mommy gimmick and the Judgment Day, and, she's beating people up. She's like this hardcore woman's wrestler, and she's very, she does the strength moves in the ring and everything. Her persona works, and it brings in a lot of viewers and a lot of attention to the product. And on top of that, it makes people intrigued and invested in her story. And when people are invested in your story as a wrestler, you don't need to wrestle that much. Just like Roman Reigns can honestly wrestle like 4 or 5 matches a year if he wanted to, and he would stay extremely relevant, Rhea Ripley can wrestle like 10 to 15 matches a year, and nobody would bat an eye. It doesn't really matter that much that she wrestles anymore. And the fact that she's this relevant, this talented, and this well-beloved, and this massive of a star in the women's division at the age of, I'm pretty sure she's below the age of 30, like I said, this is insane. It's incredible. Her ceiling, I'm dead serious, her ceiling is going to be one of the greatest and biggest WWE women's wrestlers of all time. It's that simple. I'm not a big fan of her, but you have to admit the facts are what the facts are. She's awesome to most people. But you know what, actually, no, I'm just going to be nice, guys. She's awesome, okay? Rhea Ripley is awesome. She's going to do great things, and it's very evident that she is going to eventually go down as one of the greatest women superstars ever and one of the greatest women's wrestlers in the ring ever as well by the time she's finished. I just have to accept the facts. Even though I think she's overrated, man, she's got talent. She's going to go down as a legend. And at number 1, though, is someone who I think will go down as one of the all-time greats for the men's roster if he stays healthy and does everything like that. Braun Breaker. This dude is a monster. I talked about Carmelo Hayes being the full package, but he's not as big as like a Roman Reigns or big as a Brock Lesnar, all that stuff. Braun Breaker is an issue. This dude is huge. He is NFL professional athlete level athletic. The way he jumps, the spear he did on Jey Uso last week on Raw was unbelievable. He's launching his body across the air. His legs are flying around. This dude's insane. The in-ring work is incredible. The athleticism, incredible. One of one, arguably. Like, we've only seen athleticism like this from maybe Lesnar and a couple other people. This dude is a supreme athlete. He's in the NFL dang near, obviously. Then you also have the fact that Braun Breaker knows how to cut promos and do backstage segments. This dude's segments and feuds and promos with Jey Uso so far, awesome. Awesome. He's hit on every single promo and backstage segment they've done. You also have to mention, he's going toe-to-toe with Jey Uso on the mic. Jey Uso's been there for like over a decade at this point. He's cut great promos all the time. He's got great matches and great work in the tag division. Jey Uso's going to go down as a legend as well. And Braun Breaker's going toe-to-toe with this dude on the mic at 26 or 27 years old. What? His in-ring work, like I said, has been great, and Braun Breaker has the persona of someone who can be a beast and continue to keep fighting and chugging through. And I don't even think he's like 26 years old, 27 years old. He's already super over with the crowd. Everyone's doing the roof, 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 roof. Like, it's a good gimmick. It works for him. His presentation and his entrance is okay. I think his entrance in this theme could be a little bit better, obviously, but his presentation is great. The title looks great. He looks presentable as a top star in the company, and that eventually is where Braun Breaker is going to be. And if he keeps improving on what's already amazing, like right now, he is ready to be a world heavyweight champion on WWE. It's that simple. It's very evident to me. I would rather have him as WWE World Heavyweight Champion than Gunther. And that's a hot take maybe, but that's just how I feel about it. This dude is that talented, and the fact that he's at this level now at what, 26, 27 years old, and he still probably has like 13 plus more years, this is unbelievable. I haven't seen anything like this in a very long time. Braun Breaker is going to go down as not only a megastar, a superstar, but he could potentially go down as one of the greatest WWE wrestlers of all time if things track the way that they are looking right now at his current age and his current state within the company. Hopefully this IC title reign ends up good. He's got a match with Jay coming up. This dude's cooking, and he's going to keep on cooking. He's one of my favorite WWE superstars, and he's still this young. I mean, it's crazy. He's going to go down as an absolute legend, most likely, just like Rhea Ripley, and his ceiling is one of the greatest WWE superstars ever, in my opinion. But yeah, that wraps it up for my list of who I think are the top 5 current WWE superstars with the most potential. Let me know who you think on the WWE main roster has potential, or even in NXT as well. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out.